Violets have always been a sign of the approaching spring. With their wonderful aromatic little blooms, one gets inspired to capture it in something delicious. So off to the kitchen I go. I will page through one of my old cookbooks and find just the right recipe. I think a good shortbread cookie will do the trick. I was also inspired by the lovely pansies available at the market. They come in such a variety of colors and sizes. Pansies have a flavor slightly like green peas, bright and crunchy. Although they work well in sweets, they are less aromatic than violets. Pansies are also popular to use for salads and savory dishes. As for the violets, this will take you to the great outdoors. I find it a lovely way to spend some time gathering violets. They say violets grow in the shade, but I frequently find them in the full sun. They tend to grow in bunches, but it's not uncommon to see them clinging to rock walls. They are easy to identify with their deep purple flowers. They can also be found in the shade of white, light lavender, or variegated. Highly perfumed violets work best in beverages, teas, and desserts. Violets have a history that goes back to the ancient Greeks that used them in their wine. The Tudors and the Victorians used violets to garnish salads, while the Elizabethans favored candied violets to flavor creams, curds, and tarts. In the Edwardian times, it was chocolate that became the favorite ingredient to mix with violets, and it's still popular today. This is a simple recipe with very few ingredients. Unlike most shortbread cookies that are crumbly, this one is tender and moist. I will put the recipe in the description of this video. Start by blending the butter and the sugar. Add your vanilla. If you would like, you could add lavender extract instead. You will need 2 cups of flour. I just love how handy my Kitchen Hoosier flour dispenser is to use. Add the baking powder and salt to your flour. Recipes say to mix your dry ingredients in a separate bowl, but hey, who's got time for that? I never seem to have an issue by doing it this way. Add the milk. This is the ingredient that gives it that extra moisture boost. Once it is combined, put half of the dough on some plastic wrap and shape it into a circle. Never forget to add the magic ingredient, love. When things are baked with love, it makes all the difference. Place in the refrigerator for about an hour. You don't want to skip this step as it will make it easier to handle your dough when you're cutting them out. Roll out your dough to about 1/4 of an inch thick. Don't go too thin or they'll brown too quickly on the edges when baking. Use the cookie cutter to lightly make a pattern of where the cookies will be on the dough. Do not cut all the way through. This will help you to place the flowers correctly. I like to spritz my dough with water to help the flowers stick better. Place as many flowers as you'd like on each cookie. I feel like keeping it simple today. Place a piece of parchment paper over your flowers and roll again to secure the flowers. Don't use too much pressure. The object is to make the flowers lay flat, not make the cookies thinner. Flour your cookie cutter before each cutting. The warmer your dough, the more difficult it will be to work with. Even if you have cooled it in the refrigerator, you should work as quickly as possible. Bake at 350 degrees for about 10 to 12 minutes. This recipe makes about 2 dozen cookies. These wonderful buttery cookies are great with a cup of tea. When you're serving them, cut some fresh violets to garnish the cookie plate. This will give the table a lovely violet fragrance. Thank you for joining me here on another vintage day. Please help share this video by hitting that thumbs up and subscribing. I'll see you next time.